So today I'm going to show you how women punish men who want them the most. Now this is something that you need to understand because regardless of your real world sexual market value, and what that means is your looks, right? How good your hairline is, how tall you are, how charismatic you are. Like what you're going to see is women truly don't give a fuck, especially when it stems from maintaining some sort of commitment or connection for them or to them, which is why I wholeheartedly understand that majority of guys probably watching this channel have struggled with women in the past, which is why if you internalize these specific concepts I'm going to show you today on my whiteboard, you're going to have a much easier time dating. Before we hop in, you got to understand this. I created MBT, Masculine Behavioral Techniques, because guys like Bo send me testimonials like this. The dude goes, only 2 weeks in, I've already gotten more than I paid for. I have chicks texting me multiple times in a row asking me to hang out. So guys, my question to you is, when was the last time you had any women ask you to hang out first and even text you multiple times in a row? For most guys, it's never, okay? Pop into the presentation after this video. It's completely free. You're gonna like seeing it, and I put together a shitload of value for you. Let's dive in. Now, here's what you have to understand, okay? All women are going to punish men who want them the most, okay? When I say punish men who want them the most, this means that they're going to be giving their sexual access and their sexual attention to other men who do not want them. They're going to routinely make you jump through hoops and ladders. You're probably going to end up in the friend zone. And not only that, if you do end up maintaining some sort of connection with a woman, what you're going to see is you will be routinely hit with multiple tests and obstacles, and you're not going to get her best and most genuine desire, period. So how do you undo this behavior, and how do you undo this? Well, the first thing that you got to do is you got to realize that connection in a woman's head only is caused through uncertainty. If she senses a man is uncertain in her, or uncertain about her, or she is uncertain where he stands with her. Now, here's what you got to do. You got to understand two things. I don't care if you rate the girl a 5 out of 10, a 3 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, a 1 out of 10, or 15 out of 10. It don't matter. They are all hardwired to respond to men who behave specific ways. Now, this is going to be a big wake-up call, because what I'm going to show you later on is how no matter what your real-world SMV is, you have to go deep into understanding a woman's psychology, because the truth is that majority of men were not only raised incorrectly, but we live in a world where the way that men go about things like dating and relationships is polar opposite to actually is what gets real-world results. And it's because the majority of the fact is this: men don't really understand that your brain is polar opposite to hers. So when I say polar opposite to hers, here's how a dude's brain works. It's logistical, it's logical, it's simple, it's straightforward. Okay, here's how a male brain works. If someone treats you good, okay, let's say it's your best friend, let's say it's a dude you go to the bar with, let's say it's a family member, let's even say it's a girlfriend, sister, brother, doesn't matter. Okay, if someone treats you good, if someone goes out of their way for you, okay, if someone enjoys your company and demonstrates that, and they demonstrate it through maybe paying to get you a drink, they demonstrate it through, checking in and seeing how you're doing, they demonstrate this through being there for you, what you're going to do in your brain is you're going to go, hey, I probably like that person, or I like that dude. That's a cool guy. That's somebody I want to keep spending time with. They treat me well. Okay, woman's brain is polar opposite. You got to understand that it's not her fault, and it's also not your fault. You just got to understand that the lens at which she sees the world is completely opposite to the way that you see the world. So in a woman's brain, here's what happens. When she sees that a guy is very pleasing, very willing to just go with the flow, can't stand up to her, doesn't pass her tests, routinely will care about her, and specifically the dude can't withdraw the care if bad behavior occurs, here's what happens, okay? In a woman's brain, she thinks, well, if him liking me, okay, if she senses care, she goes, him liking me reveals his sexual market value. This reveals his sexual market value because now what she starts to get a sense of in her head is that he has no other options. But even at a deeper level, here's what really starts to click, is that in the subconscious elements of the girl's brain, she looks at him and goes, he can't get other women at this level. Therefore, he has to treat me nice. Okay, therefore he has to send me a text that says, good night, baby, I hope you sleep well. Therefore, he has to send roses and kissy faces and blush emojis, because the motherfucker can't attract the same level of girl. See, what you got to understand is the reason why a woman deep down desires and craves an arrogant prick is because the arrogant prick to some degree is not controlled by her sex, and he's not controlled by lust. And I'm going to show you at the end of this how lust can emasculate you to the deepest degree. But what this is doing is this is revealing his sexual market value towards her. A woman only wants to date up. but you can't allow her. Like a lot of guys are ruining the experience of love for a woman. Like the experience of love for a woman is like she wants to be able to not only chase his approval, she also wants to be able to look up to that man. If she can't look up to that man and get a sense that he is better than her, and you demonstrate that you're better than her by not needing her, not being controlled by lust, okay, being able to walk away from certain situations, and not only that, you genuinely are on your purpose to such a degree that you don't care, okay, she's going to get a sense that this man has to act ready and willing and pleasing to see me and be there for me, because he can't get other women at this level. So, well, your brain goes, hey, someone's nice to you, I'm gonna treat them nice back. A woman goes, hey, he's nice because he has to be. And if he's nice to me, that probably means he can't stand up to me, therefore he can't stand up for me, therefore if danger were to occur, this motherfucker cannot protect. See, this goes so deep. And see, you can ruin the experience of love for women, even if you can bench press 500 pounds, even if you make $20 million a month, no matter what it is. Like if you act incorrectly, you will be punished, and women will punish men who like them the most. On top of that, if you act ready and willing to be with a woman and you care for her, what it really signals in her head is, hey, he's scared to lose me. So if you wonder like, hey, why did things go good with a woman and then things ended up going bad? Okay, this is the biggest reason why. Now, if you go deep into this, women get wet for men who make them feel uncertain. Now, this uncertainty, the reason why this is almost a hidden hack or a hidden cheat code, and why women won't tell you this, is because if they told you this, they'd actually be powerless in majority of relationships. A woman on some degree knows that her biggest negotiating power in a relationship, especially to get the care, the investment, and the commitment in a man, is specifically what is between her legs, what she offers in the bedroom, and how beautiful she is. Since they know this, if you're not controlled by this, okay, you start to make them feel uncertain. They lose the leverage that they have in a relationship. I'll give you an example. There's girls who I've known very, very closely. I've gotten them to admit this slowly, and they've admitted that they are completely powerless if a man can't fall in love with them. Okay, women get wet for men who feel uncertain. The reason why you have to understand this is because no matter, I have this in blue because it's so important, no matter what your real world SMV is, your real world sexual market value, and this is including as to how many likes you get on Instagram, how big your follower accounts are. This is how much money you're making. This is what you do for a living. This is if you're a CEO, CFO, COO, business owner. This is if you are super tall and good looking and jacked. Okay, that is your real world SMV. When people walk down the street, or when a woman walks down the street, that might attract her. She has a perceived level of interest or a perceived level of attraction. She thinks, hey, there's a chance that this guy might actually act and carry himself like a stud. Okay, that uncertainty of how he acts is what gets her hooked and what makes her obsessed with you. It is not actually the attractiveness that she sees at face value. The face value attraction, things like looks, money, and status, this will get your foot in the door. This is not what can actually hook her to keep her continuously thinking about you. So no matter what your real world sexual market value is, your actual sexual market value is how many other women perceive you as alpha. If a woman sees that other women also perceive you as alpha, okay, and you do this by demonstrating that you are higher value than her, this carries through your mannerisms, this carries through how you act, this carries through you not getting giddy and needy on dates. This comes with you not needing to spend hours and hours on phone calls and conversations with them. This also stems from you not needing to do routine check-in texts to see how she's doing. All of that stuff is feminine behavior that will emasculate you. So your actual sexual market value is how many other women perceive you as alpha. And this happens regardless of how tall you are, regardless of how good looking you are, regardless of how much money you make. Okay, so here, for those of you who don't believe me, for those of you who are on the whole looks, money, status train and you've been chasing that for your whole life, that's good for your initial attraction, but go test this for yourself. As soon as you show care, watch pull back and watch test happen. As soon as you invest on a personal level, okay, they will run. And they'll run because they're hardwired towards this. A woman values deep down mental as well as emotional fortitude, okay? And a man who does not get attached, she values that far more on the hypergamous radar than she will ever value a man who has real world sexual market value but can't make her feel a specific way. You gotta understand, this is all a feeling. It's a feeling. It's deep down, it's an intrinsic feeling. This is why you gotta understand a woman's psychology and a woman's nature. Because over the years after making these videos, I've seen far too many men who make $500,000 to $1 million a year get divorced. I've seen far too many men who are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", tall, jacked, and good looking get dumped, heartbroken, or cheated on. I've seen far too men who have every real world metric of status and success still not be able to pull and to attract women. Okay, Here's what I can tell you. As soon as you invest on a personal level, they will run. This will register in her brain as weakness. Since it's registering in her brain as weakness, here's what you have to understand. The conclusion you're going to have to lead yourself to is they all love a heartless prick. The deep down, on a deep down level, here's what you're going to sense. And here, like the better you treat a woman, the worse in the long run she's going to treat you. The more heartless and the bigger of a prick that you are to a woman, it shows that you're able to stand up to her. Okay, these comes through your nuances. This comes from your vocal communication. This comes from you genuinely not giving a fuck, not only how she perceives you, but how other people view you. Okay, you're able to go through life on your own terms. Okay, a dude who's like truly a savage deep down, he does not get attached post-sex. And truthfully, this right here is what controls most men. He may not even need sex or give a fuck. And because he doesn't give a fuck, this is going to turn her on. So right here, the way that a man who truly behaves and lives life on his own terms will act, he will not feel the need to call fast, okay, after a first date or after multiple dates. He doesn't feel the need to reach out. He's living life on his own terms. He doesn't feel the need to over pursue, to over validate. And not only that, he doesn't care if he sees her. This lack of care, okay, here's what you got to understand. This genuine lack of care and this genuine lack of investment on your end raises the care and the investment on her end, because what she deep down wants is your approval. Okay, how does this translate back to the original point? Connection is only caused through uncertainty. This whole word of connection and this whole word of comfort needs to be wiped and needs to be erased from your brain, because what happens with the words like comfort and connection is you will routinely look at it from your male brain way, and your male brain way is going to think logically. Connection, handhold, connection, kiss, connection, touch, connection, we're going out on dates together, connection, time spent. Okay, those things are screwing the connection in the woman's brain. A connection in a woman's brain goes, I can look up to this guy. A connection in a woman's brain goes, he does not need me, he's stronger than me, he is alpha. A connection in a woman's brain goes, other women perceive him as this. He is what he says he is, and he is what he claims he is. He has a life outside of me. He has work outside of me. He does not necessarily care if he sees me. My attraction is now raising. This is how it works, and this is how it happens. Because the guy who is deep down heartless and puts himself first and is self-centered does not care if he sees her, she's going to register this as a true alpha male. Because he makes her low on his priority list, he can get the ass every single time, but not only that, he's not overtaken by lust. So he does not, the dude truly doesn't even care if he sees the woman or not. He's like, fuck it, I don't even care. If she comes over and she wants to see me, that's great. If not, that's cool too. A dude who's overtaken by lust will slowly get emasculated. Not only that, he has the inability to be alone. So if you start translating into this sort of mindsets, here's what you got to understand to boil this down like at a base level. If you like her, she won't like you. And a woman always has to like you more than you like her in order to actually register as love in her head. She gets obsessed with chasing that approval. She gets obsessed with actually knowing that you're uncertain about her. She gets upset. Like as soon as you become certain, this reveals your sexual market value. You're certain that this is a woman you can consolidate on. And once you're certain that this is a woman you can consolidate on, this reveals your sexual market value and how easy it would be to actually replace her. Therefore, she will no longer want you, and she's going to want to replace you. This uncertainty in a woman's head is what breeds the ability to chase a man's approval. This ability to chase a man's approval makes a woman fall head over heels in love. So you can test this at any age, any height, any income level. Okay? A lot of men, the more they level up, the more lazier they get with their frame. A lot of men, the more they do self-improvement, they actually get lackadaisical on the deep down internal attraction triggers that it took to probably get a woman when they made less money, when they were less fit. Okay, you had to use that charm and that sex appeal. You had to use that masculine frame and that swag. A lot of guys, they get on their grind, they get on their journey, they start leveling up. They start to undercompensate in the areas of true masculinity and internal fortitude that makes a woman get turned on. They overcompensate in real world SMV metrics, and all of a sudden they're wondering what happened to them. So this is what you got to understand. Women will punish men who like them. The more you like her, the less she will like you. And every single woman, regardless if they're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or 20 out of 10, you got to understand that they're going to behave this way. There's something in their brain that is going to make it where their attraction will only want to raise if you are indifferent or if you're neutral or if you make them feel uncertain. So over time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you real world examples of how you can actually apply this into your life. Okay, and truthfully, like the biggest way to even stop like overcompensating for some of these areas is you got to understand that it is your job to put yourself first in every way, shape, and form. And if you do that and she becomes the back burner on your priority list, you hit her up when she is on your schedule, not vice versa. You're able to make time to see her only when you want to. These are the things that register as alpha, and these are the things that register as a woman who has a man that she actually wants to be with. If you like this video, hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.